Hello everybody. So through this session we'll continue with the literature, and in literature we will do scene passage. So today's chapter is the little girl. So the first scene passage is this one, followed by these questions. So after reading the passage we will just answer the following questions. So the very first question is, who never stuttered with other people? So from here, she never stuttered with other people, and we know that the little girl Kezia never stuttered with other people. So write down the little girl Kezia never stuttered with other people. Likewise, the second question is, why did she stutter with father only? So she used to stutter with father because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. Write down, she stuttered with father because then she tried to say words properly with extra efforts. Likewise, the third question is, what did the father wish? So from here, dialogue of father, that he wish that she taught the child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Write down, he wished that the mother should teach the girl not to appear on the brink of suicide. Fourth question is, how was father to her? From here we can see that he was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. So we'll write simply that the father was so big to her. Likewise, the last question is, how was it for her thinking about the father alone? So definitely from here we can write out that thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. So we'll write down, thinking about the father alone was like thinking about a giant. Likewise, second paragraph is this one, followed by these questions. So first of all we'll read the paragraph carefully, and after that we'll attempt these questions. So the very first question is, who lived next door? So the very first line, the McDonald's lived next door. Write down, the McDonald's lived next door. Likewise, the second question is how many children had they? This is also in the very second line given they had 5 children. I'll write down they had 5 children. Third question is what did the little girl see? From here, looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. So we'll write down she saw them playing tag. Tag is the game in the evening. Likewise, fourth question is what did she decide? So it was decided by her that there were different kinds of sorts of fathers. So write down she decided that there were different sorts of fathers. Likewise, last question here is what happened one day suddenly? So suddenly one day mother became ill. So we'll write down suddenly one day her mother became ill. Likewise, third paragraph is this one only followed by these questions. So first of all we'll read this paragraph and after that we will attempt these questions. So the very first question here is who slept before the little girl and why? So we said see here that the tired out he slept before the little girl and definitely is the father. Why? Because he was tired. So we'll write down the father slept before the little girl because he was tired. Likewise, the second question is which funny feeling came over her? From here you can see a funny feeling came over her that her father was a poor man, not so big, and after all that there was nobody that day to look after him. So this was the funny feeling that came over her. So the funny feeling was that her father was not so big and there was nobody to look after him. Next question is how did she compare father with grandmother? So she found that father was also hard and he was harder than grandmother, but that was a nice hardness as it is given here. We'll write down she found that the father was harder than grandmother, but that was a nice hardness. Last question is what could she hear? And from here you can see that she could hear father's heart beating or going. We'll write down she could hear her father's heart beating.